Hey YouTube, what's up? Are you good? Because I'm good. This is a video, probably quite a short video, the video I promised to do. I always said my channel was never going to be entirely about muscle gain, bodybuilding type stuff. There are plenty of channels that cover that in all sorts of detail. So this is kind of a whole fitness channel. So this video, as you probably guessed from the title, is all about increasing the distance you can run and the speed you can run and the techniques I use and suggest that my clients use to do so. So you may have clicked on this video because you want to run your first 5k, or you may be looking to run a marathon, or maybe you just can't run 1 kilometer at the moment and 1 mile, and you're just trying to build up to that. So yeah, I think there are a few important things that you need to get your head around before we talk about the actual techniques. Those things are that running is, whether sprinting or distance running, which this is obviously more geared towards, running is a skill. It is a skill, but also running has one other important component, and that component is general aerobic or cardiovascular fitness. Now, your body has numerous energy systems that it can use and uses under different circumstances. What you want to achieve to be able to run any great distance is to increase your aerobic and anaerobic threshold. So I'll just briefly touch on those terms. Aerobic threshold is the threshold at which, up until you reach that point, you are working purely aerobically. Now, aerobic fitness, or the aerobic energy system, produces energy slowly in the presence of oxygen. Its only byproducts are heat and water, hence you sweat and get hot. And carbon dioxide, so you breathe a lot when you're working aerobically. Then the anaerobic threshold is the kind of upper point. So you go above the aerobic threshold and you're working a mixture of aerobic and anaerobic. Anaerobic is producing energy without air. It's quicker, but it has byproducts like lactic acid. If you've ever had the burning in your legs, you know what that's about. And you burn out like energy ATP, which is kind of up there, which you normally use and hear more in reference to bodybuilding, but that's for sprinting and stuff as well, but that's not so important here. So all you need to know is when you're working aerobically, you can kind of keep that up indefinitely, provided that your muscles don't crap out on you. So you want to increase your aerobic threshold so that you're working more aerobically when you run, which will allow you to do it for longer. So I suggest a three-pronged approach, which normally means 3 cardio training sessions a week, or more if you want to fit more in, but 3 is kind of your basic minimum. So you need to do 1 long, slow run, and for some of you, this long, slow may not be a run. It might be a jog, or it may be a fast walk. And if you're really unfit, it may just be a walk. But that's down to you. Fitness is, it's individual. So as long as you're working hard and within your limits, then you will make improvements for you. You should compare yourself to no one but yourself. Are you better than you were yesterday? Yes, then you're making progress. So fuck whatever anyone else can do. So 1 long, slow duration. Now, if you are trying to run a 5k or you're trying to run a 10k, then I would say your long, slow duration should be 5k or 10k. So you select a pace at which you can do that. You can complete that, preferably without stopping. If you have to stop, you have to stop. If you're building up to a 5k, you've never run 5k before, then obviously do 1k, 2k, 3k, 4k, build it up. But ultimately, it should be the distance you want to run. So if you have to walk it, you walk it. It's just getting used to exercising for that length of time. So when you're not running at a particularly high speed, even running, 5 kilometers can take 40-50 minutes. So it's a long time to exercise. A lot of people aren't used to the rigors that has on your body. So we're not worried about speed here. Select a speed which is comfortable for you, because you're going to be performing that for a long time. So you're going to run your 5, your 10k. Now if you want to run a marathon, this video perhaps not so much for you. These techniques will work, but you don't want to be running 26 kilometers or miles, whichever it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. You don't want to be running that distance once every week, because once you run a marathon your body will be shattered. You just can't train at that high level. So maybe 10-15 kilometers on your long slow, or even up to 20 kilometers towards the end of your training, but don't go running a whole marathon once a week because you'll kill yourself. But if you're just running a 5k or a 10k or a 3k or a 1k, then do that as your long slow duration. So whatever it is, do that at a comfortable pace, just go. Okay, then part 2 is cross training. So you remember I said it was a skill to be able to run, but also you need aerobic fitness. So cross training doesn't necessarily mean getting on a cross trainer, although it can mean that. I often advocate using a bike because it's low impact, whereas a treadmill or running outdoors is high impact on your knees. You do cross training, so you'll work your aerobic system. I often suggest at this point that you either do intervals or you just work at your aerobic threshold. Working at your aerobic threshold essentially means take 200, take your age away from that, and that will give you roughly, very roughly I might add, that's not 100% accurate, but it will give you roughly your upper heart rate. And you want to be working somewhere around 60, like 70, 80% of that to be working kind of above your aerobic threshold. When you work above it, you will increase it, so you'll make your body better at producing energy. The video's already getting a bit long, so I'm not going to delve into how that happens, but essentially work at a high rate, so you're really going to be puffing, you're going to be tired, sweating, burning, everything's going to be painful, and you may only do that for 20-30 minutes, but basically kill yourself with an alternative form of cardio. So you'll let your legs recover from the rigors of running while still improving your cardiovascular fitness, which is the other aspect aside from the skill to running. So long slow duration teaches you how to run and keep that motion up for a long time. The cross training allows you to increase your lung and your heart capacity to work, so again assisting you in running for a longer length of time. And then finally, speed play or intervals again is going to be your third training, but on a treadmill. So you will do, again, it's going to be a shorter workout, 10, 15, 20 minutes, but what you're going to do is you're going to do intervals, not necessarily like HIIT intervals where it's like 10 seconds on, 20 seconds off, but like a minute running or 2 minutes running and then 1 minute rest or 30 seconds rest, but you're going to be running at a much faster pace than in your long run. So you'll be running way faster than you could keep up for the whole time, but you're going to be teaching your body to run, getting your legs and your abs and everything used to that, running at high speeds. Again, you're going to be pushing your aerobic threshold, which means the next time you come back to your long slow duration run, you'll be able to run for longer at a higher speed. So each week try and increase the speed of your long slow duration run. Well, there's 2 ways to do it. I must apologise there, I'll back up slightly. If you want to run 5k and your long slow duration is already 5k, then just each week you come back to that long slow duration, increase the speed, even if it's by like 0.1, 0.2, whatever, just increase the speed every week. Now if you can only run 1k and you want to run 5k, then increase the distance. Leave the speed the same on your long slow duration, but increase the distance. So over time you will be able to do go for longer, go for the whole 5k. And welcome to the second part of that video. My camera died, so I had to cut it short, and then I thought I need to add the last few bits to this video. So sorry about the now sucky lighting. The sun has gone down because that's what happens in Britain all the time. So yes, I was saying that those are your 3 training systems. So do them once a week. If you're going to do them once a week, do them like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, however you want to split it up. I always advocate doing the cross training between the running, and so that will also work if you want to do 6 days. So you'll do treadmill, bike, treadmill, bike, treadmill, bike, treadmill. or running outdoors, bike, running outdoors, bike, running outdoors, bike, treadmill, however you want to do it. But split up your 2 running workouts to give your body time to recover. And yeah, just finally, so every time you do the long run, I've already said that you need to just increase the distance every time until you reach the distance you want, and once that is done, just aim to increase your speed, so you do it quicker each time. With your cross training, you always want to push harder, so either increase the length of time, but once you go over like 35-40 minutes, I advocate just increasing the intensity, because you're not trying to do this as a distance event, you're really just trying to increase your cardio fitness and your ability to really push yourself. So if you go past like 30, even 35 minutes, I would say just up the intensity so that you're basically dead after those 30-35 minutes. Just make that harder each time. And for your intervals on the treadmill or outside, just the same. So just run faster for your intervals, or I wouldn't even say increase your intervals. If your intervals get more than 2 minutes, then you're not really running fast enough. So I would say run for 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, max 2 minutes, and then walk for like 1 minute in between. But just keep increasing the speed. The speed is what's going to help you there. So learn to run really quick. And that will increase your speed on your long, slow runs, which eventually you'll get to kind of race speed. So just keep doing that, hammering away. You will improve, you'll be able to run further, feel better, and run faster as well. So I hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you like the video, and you'll get much more on my channel. Thanks very much. Peace.